So day one, technically day one happened. So day two started, or day zero, because they call that zero, but whatever. Xbox started. So of course they have this whole montage. They're showing Halo off and then Gears and everything else, and people are getting hype about it. They started off with Halo 5 Guardians because they had to. Like it's Halo.
Or they could have saved it for last, because a lot of people should save their big one for last.
Oh, they saved something else for last. We'll get into that too. Now they had Warzone and Guardians, which is I forget what that note was. They basically showed a lot of Guardians. They said it's gonna come out in spring 2006. So
A lot of the games that were announced were 2006, 2016.
and that's the thing. A lot of Xbox ones, yeah. I think
just a lot of games that were announced. Period, are coming out into that next year.
Now another big thing that happened, where they announced backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty big. I mean, I'm trying to think of here how to
Huge.
It's big.
Especially for a company that abandoned that. I mean, last time they did it with the 360 and the Xbox, the original Xbox, and I think it required emulation with that. Same thing like kind of Nintendo does. They have an emulation, but this time it's going to be native.
Well, yeah, but I'm just trying to think here. Like the thought I'm gathering in my head right now is that companies abandon backwards compatibility because they want you to play new games. They don't want you to keep playing the same old game over and over. So,
or just the fact of buying a remaster versus buying,
True.
that type of thing.
But it's just, I don't know. I think the backwards compatibility is pretty cool,
Mm.
but we'll see.
And it's
there's really no downside to it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. They added Xbox features. You can take screenshots. You can play with the Xbox One controller versus the Xbox 360 controller. A lot of things coming out. But now here's the thing. They said that you don't have to pay anything for the games that you already own. My thing is, how do they know through like your basically your like the trophies you got or achievements you got, or what you've downloaded already from the Xbox 360 or whatever's on your account? I've been looking for a while to see how they actually determine how they know what games you have, and there's no real
Hard
details
copy?
on that. Well, that's the thing too. I don't know, but they already have games to download for backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I feel like it might be like in your history when you play a game, it has it in your trophy, your achievements, or just whatever that you've played the game on your console before.
Mhm.
So I feel like that.
But that could be a negative too, because what if it's a game that I've borrowed or rented? I didn't really own it. Do I get it for free then?
you get it for a game.
Yeah,
That's of course if that's how that works.
Yeah, like I've been trying to find details on it, and there isn't any. I just know there's games that are available as soon as this program is open to the public. Because right now I think it's only for exclusive members. I think people who are it's like subscribers or not. It's not gold. It's something else. But I do know they're going to start the program with other people first, and then they're opening it up later. I think later this year or early next year. I want to say. Let me see what I have written here.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yes, yeah, and the backwards. Oh, yes, another thing about the backwards compatibility. It's going to be streamable to Windows 10 too. So now you can play not only your Xbox One games on the Windows 10,
but your 360 as well.
Mhm. So Halo all the way, I guess.
That's pretty dope.
And then they showed this controller. This customizable controller. You can swap out buttons. You can swap out the stick. Kind of alter the control a little bit.
It's $150
Yeah, it's not cheap. Not cheap at all.
for being able to switch. But I mean, I guess it's cool because you have your own unique controller. But at the same time, it's $150 for a controller.
Cheap. I mean, people spend that kind of money on a control stick, on a fight stick.
That's I don't know. It's just a different way to play a game. This is just a controller.
I don't know. I mean, people will love it. People will buy it.
All people are probably gonna buy it. But I think it's a waste of money.
Then Bethesda came out, talked about Fallout. It's like, all right, that already happened. Then EA came out later and talked about EA Access, where if you're subscribed to this like thing, you can get games. You can play EA games first, like Madden 5. You can play it like 5, like Madden. The Madden, the new Madden. Anyway,
16.
Yeah, whatever the hell it is. I wrote 5 on there. I have no idea. 5 days is what it is. 5 days before it comes out to the public, you could actually play that game first, and other things like that. So that's EA Access. And then they went mobile. Talked about Plants and Zombies, Garden Warfare 2. I guess some people are interested in that. They bought out a car.
It's a huge following for that game, actually.
Yeah, I mean, but who's really watching that? That's watching E3.
I don't know. You never know.
That's true too. They premiered a new car, the Ford GT, and Forza 6.
Yeah, they dropped the car.
Yeah, it
from
was
the
just like-
ceiling.
That was what? I was
That
like,
alone was pretty cool.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, but it's there and it happened. And Forza 6 still coming. I
Which
think,
that game looks beautiful. Oh my goodness.
September 15th or September 2015 is
Yeah.
going to be coming out. They premiered Dark Souls 2, The Division, Tom Clancy's The Division, which has been announced for like what?
Oh,
2 or
we've
3
been
years.
seeing the same footage of this game for like 4 years. Come on now.
Rainbow Six Siege, which is coming out October 13th, so that has a date. Windows 10 is going to be Windows 10. They announced that they announced some games that are going to be only exclusive to Xbox and Windows 10, like Gigantic, which is a beta that's going to be coming out, and other games like that to be crossplay that way. And then they showed a bunch of indie games, which I wanted to bring up Cuphead. I'm really happy that game's actually happening.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited for Cuphead.
And there was another game that had a 30 style, but I don't know what happened to it, but I'm really happy that happened. And then they also showed something else, which I don't know if I want to discuss now or discuss that at another time, but the Rare games. They announced that, okay, Rare's 30 years old. Here's 30 Rare games. We're going to sell this physical copy for $30.
That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah. I
mean of course, there's no Donkey Kong and no GoldenEye.
Yeah,
but
no, it's not any of that. But they have like Conquer, Banjo-Kazooie, all the Banjo-Kazooies basically, Viva Pinata. They have old school games that they've had like on the NES and arcades.
Perfect Dark is on it.
Both Perfect Darks too. And Battletoads, the arcade versions of Battletoads is on there as well. And it's like, holy crap. And it kind of raised the debate. Like the first thing people thought of was, how come Nintendo can't sell their virtual console games for that cheap? And that started a debate a little bit. Like I said, I don't know if we want to talk about that now or maybe wait till later.
We could wait till later.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's pretty dope though. 30 games for $30 to celebrate 30 years. Just a whole bunch of 30s going on.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you don't ever get like 30 games for $30 on anything from Nintendo, especially like old school console games.
You don't really get 30 games for $30 on anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true
This
too.
is kind of just unprecedented.
Well, I mean, Namco, when they do their Namco museums, there's a bunch of games for like a low price. So, I mean, you can kind of give it that.
But those are like arcade games though.
Yeah.
These are 30 like actual games.
Jet Force Gemini 2 is on there as well.
Yeah.
And other things like that. So, you're right. I see what your point is. Let's see what else. They also premiered a game on Rare, which was like Sea of Thieves, which was a pirates game. It looked kind of
whatever.
Yeah, it was
whatever.
like and then Fable Legends, which is also another thing they brought up, which is going to be another game that's exclusive to Windows 10 and Xbox, so you can crossplay with that. A bunch of crossplay games again, and then the VR. The VR is they talked about Oculus, and then they talked about their HoloLens. Their HoloLens demonstration.
The HoloLens demonstration with the Minecraft was actually pretty cool.
Oh, that
I'm not the biggest
Minecraft
fan, but that was pretty sick.
I want to believe. Like I have to see it. I want to believe this is real. Like, I can see it and you can show me all the visuals and just, do all that, but I want to believe in this technology because this has so much potential. It looks so awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, funny thing too, I learned that during this conference that Mojang is pronounced Mojang.
Mojang.
I did not know that. That changes everything.
It doesn't change anything. It just changes the way it's pronounced. But still,
No.
everyone's called it Mojang.
For years they called it for
Mojang.
Mojang. It's Mojang. But anyway, they showed this demonstration because basically it was cross. They were playing each other too, or playing with each other. The dude had the HoloLens and he was looking at the map on his table basically. And the person who's the CEO of Mojang, she was playing the game on her tablet, and he viewed her character in the game through the tablet.
Yeah,
like that. I was like, "What is this?" Like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so like, show me how to get to here, and I'll just blow bombs up." And you saw her doing it from her tablet, but from this guy's eyes in the HoloLens, you saw her going to a spot where she was blowing things up to go underground. It was just like, I want this to be real. Like this has
that
to.
Was
like,
dope.
I don't know, man. That was awesome. Like VR, man. VR is gonna be the future, man.
And then there was also Tomb Raider as well.
Oh, yeah, the Tomb Raider game that they showed. Did they show that on that? I thought it was Sony that showed Tomb Raider.
No, that was Microsoft.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Rise of the Tomb Raider. That actually looked very interesting, too. It was very cinematic. Very, almost reminded me of Uncharted, but in a different way because it's Tomb Raider. But I did like the gameplay of that. I think they nailed it on the head this time instead of like a regular old kind of like they brought it back to the real old school that made Tomb Raider popular, which I actually like. Then they brought up Gears of War, the Ultimate Edition, and they're going to have a public beta on that. And then they premiered the game that everybody was waiting for, Gears of War 4, which I was like, okay.
I kind of thought 3 ended everything, but sure, I'll take it. Whatever. There's a 4 coming out.
Yeah. And that was basically it for Xbox. They had about 330,000 people at a high point on Twitch, which again lower than Bethesda, but it still had some good views for what it was in the morning. How do you want to grade them?
Initially, I wasn't all that impressed by it, but actually, just like this recap kind of changed my mind a little bit on them.
Oh yeah.
I would actually go solid A.
Really? I was gonna give them like a B minus maybe.
No, I think the demonstration with the HoloLens and
I mean that was hot.
Announcing Gears, like, because one of the things that Halo 5 everyone knew was coming.
Yeah,
you just want to see footage, but completely just announcing Gears of War 4, the Tomb Raider. I don't know. I think then just dropping the car from the ceiling. That was pretty. I mean, come on. How many other people have done that?
HoloLens makes it an A, but like everything
The
else
HoloLens
is
makes it A, but like I also think the rare
backwards compatibility,
the rare collection, the backwards compatibility, the I mean, the Elite controller was cool until they announced the price, and then I don't know. I think it'll maybe if that controller drops down in price, but like I'm not going to hinder. I mean, obviously, I'm going to hinder the controller by its price.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to hinder its announcement by its price.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the controller itself is a really cool concept. I'll go an A on this.
I'll change. I'll go B. I'll go at
That's
least
fine.
B. I'll
You have
go
your opinion.
there.
I have mine.
Yes.